Good morning. Good morning. Mike, fantastic. The first thing Mike said to me yesterday when we talked was, I want to be within the time limit. And I thought, it's the irony of that, the queen of having time problems. And Mike, you did it. Congratulations. You did it well. I liked when Mike came up here and his introduction, and he has a way of doing this. I recalled it. I said, I've heard this before. He always connects it with something that has just happened. And what he did was he talked about Lisa doing the dog thing. And he said, how would I have known that the dog was, or the pet thing was going to be the question of the day? So you do that very well. I must admit that when Mike told me yesterday he was going to talk about itching dogs, I was glad we were on the phone. I went, itching dogs, you know, and I said, how many minutes? And he said, 5 to 7. I thought, wow, good luck on that. and he did it. I had no idea you had that expertise. It was incredibly well done. The content was clear, it was comprehensive, and what you did, which you told me you were going to do yesterday, is go in depth rather than wide, and you did that perfect. I think you could write a book on this, and I would be the first to read it, surprisingly. Your depth of knowledge is just amazing, and you do it with gathering us all in. You could hear a pin drop, and you were right on. And I like dogs, but I certainly didn't know the content. But you talked about the fleas, and I must say I was almost starting to itch. It was so graphic, you know, on the skin, and you know, sucking the blood, and then you went into the food allergy, and I never knew that much about proteins with dogs, and I'm glad to know that. But I think the main thing was the shampoo. And when he told me he was going to talk about scratching dogs, itching dogs, I was like, well, for heaven's sakes, just give them a bath. That's all you have to do. It was my first reaction. But obviously, it's a lot more involved in that. And you did it, and you did that well. I wish I could even pronounce, let alone understand those medical terms that you used. Finally, the two things that you said was eye contact. You're very engaging, and you looked around oftentimes. The other thing you said was your ring. You have a tendency to play with your ring. I said, I've never noticed that about you. Well, I did this time. You touch your ring a lot on your left finger. I'm not sure you turn it like you said, but you do touch it. And, you know, I don't know if that really bothers people or not. It certainly doesn't bother me, but that's just a comment. My recommendations to you would have been nice to have a summary at the end. And you didn't do that. You just kind of stopped. The other thing is, you gave that nice personal touch about your daughter. And I think it would have been nice if you would have given more personal touch, because the amount of information was almost overwhelming. Excellent job. Thank you so much.